Hey guys, we're here with Katie from Mixo Indy.
Hello.
Where are we? We're at the Industrious building.
Yep, in the Studs building. And this weekend is butter, so it's going to be
The vibes
crazy.
are exciting.
Yeah,
it's electric.
Really exciting here. Yeah. They made it all beautiful out in the courtyard too.
It's so fun. I can't wait. I'm coming tomorrow.
Yeah? Oh, cool.
Yeah, so excited. So we met, I think the first time, I think my sister-in-law introduced me to you just by sending Instagram, which by the way, Katie's Instagram is fire, so go follow it. And tell everybody what you do.
I teach cocktail and mixology workshops. So Mixo Indy is my company, and we primarily do in-home, in-person cocktail classes. Lots of different ones. We have a whiskey one, tequila, seasonal cocktails, tiki, which is really, really fun. And then we're going to be rolling out a coffee class coming up here in the fall. So keep watch for that.
That's fun, like coffee
Cocktails.
drink cocktails.
Yeah,
Oh,
like an
fun.
espresso martini and then a margarita negra.
You should have brought samples.
Coffee. I know, I should have. Yeah, I thought about setting that up here at Industrious and just like crowdsourcing.
I was gonna say,
good and whatnot.
yeah, I think we might attract quite the crowd if you started with that.
Yeah.
You basically bring the fun. I feel like you're kind of a hype girl / mixologist.
Yeah, I mean, getting other people excited about what I'm excited about is like, that's my whole thing. That's what I'm really, really into.
That's your jam. I think I've taken 4 classes now, 3 or 4 classes from you.
At least like that.
And it's so much fun. I always learn something new, and it's just a great way to break the ice. The first one I ever did was with my coworkers, and all of us had fun. I think it was like 50% mocktails, 50% cocktails.
There was a lot of mocktails for that one.
And it was still a blast, though.
It was like a peach Averna spritz, I think.
Yeah.
And like,
there was egg involved.
and there was like a guava one too. Guava with rum, I think, was the other one during that season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was guava.
I remember your class because I didn't have peaches that were ripe, and so I had to I panicked and I had to run to the grocery store in the middle of your class.
Yeah, you had to improvise.
And that was one of those memories that's like, oh, okay, this is owning a business. It's just like constant panic and overwhelm.
Yeah, we've heard that before. But no one could tell. Everybody just had a blast. Okay. No one even thought of that but you. But that is totally just entrepreneurial world. Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about why you chose Indiana, or why you chose to stay in Indiana.
That's a great question. So ultimately, I'm in Indiana because of a boy. So I mean, that's the honest reality of it. My boyfriend lived here, who's now my husband, and I wanted to be near him. So I moved here, got a job, and we originally lived in Anderson, Indiana, so the small town life. There was this really close-knit community there. Loved that close-knit community thing. Then a lot of our community moved to Indianapolis, and so we moved here kind of thinking that, I don't know, if we wanted to be in Indiana long term, maybe not. And then we moved here to Indianapolis and fell in love with it. I mean, there's so much to do, so many fun restaurants to try, and that was even before I got into my business and being in that world professionally, which was a whole other thing that we'll talk about. But yeah, just really pleased and excited to be here. Yeah, it's a great place to raise a family. We don't have a family. Well, we don't have kids currently, but we're gonna.
You have a puppy.
Eventually. We have a puppy. Yeah, it's a great place to have a puppy.
Yeah, it totally is. And I think you do such a good job at building that community. I'm guessing I'm not the only person who does repeat classes.
No, your sister though. I think she's the one who's done the most. I think she's up to 6 or 7, honestly.
Haley holds the record. We'll
she
tag
does
her.
Currently hold the record. There are other people who have done 3 or 4 or 5. Some people have done 2 or 3, I think. But yeah, just a lot of repeat clients. They'll tell their coworkers about me, or their friends about me, family, classes.
Love that.
We've had ones where they did she did it with her family, and then she did it with her friends, and it was funny because the instructor teaching those classes was she was a different person. It was totally a different vibe because she's with her family versus her friends. Anyway, that one was funny.
That is funny. I don't think I'm any different with the work versus
yeah,
the home.
that's good. I mean, yeah.
I probably should be.
No, your friends or your family, your coworkers are like your family.
I don't know if I go that far. No, I'm just kidding, guys. I promise. Well, tell us how you got into mixology to begin with, because I know
Sure.
that's a fun story.
Yeah, well, first of all, I was not a bartender at all. Like, I've never tended bar before, and I'm really specific about that with people. Like, I am not a bartender because they have skills I don't have. Like, they have, customer service skills, and there's a whole different, set of challenges when it comes to working behind a bar in a professional environment, trying to get out a really good cocktail as quickly as you can. That's a whole different thing, and I don't really have those skills. I'm a home bartender. I teach other home bartenders, and I got into it in like 2019, I think. So like a year before the pandemic, and of course when the pandemic hit, everyone got into home bartending. It shot up so fast, and so since I got into it slightly before that, I had these skills, and I was talking to people about it, and people were getting more and more interested. I just noticed, all my friends love cocktails. That's sort of my generation. And they were like, man, I don't know anything about cocktails, but I love them. And everybody kept saying that comment. And I was like, man, there really seems to be a drive for us to know more, but very little hands-on experience, very little, I can't do that, I'm afraid to do that, and that attitude. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna create a solution for that. So we're gonna do in-person classes, you're gonna get your hands dirty, you're gonna shake up your own cocktail, and you're not gonna be afraid of it after that. So demystifying cocktails. So really just stumbled into it, kind of, was like, man, this is really needed. I love cocktails and I love teaching other people, and so I started Mixo in 2021 with some stimulus money, which was very handy. And that's kind of how I got into this, just very generally.
That's awesome. You can just tell that you're so passionate about it, and you're such an educator too. You love teaching.
Yeah, I think I'm a teacher first.
I think so too, because I am not skilled in the bartending area, and you didn't laugh at me one time when I spilled.
Of course not.
My friends did.
I was spilling too. If you look at my board, it's not perfectly clean.
Yeah, but it's so fun.
Not the point.
Well, what advice do you have for other women in Indianapolis thinking about getting into business? I know that's a pretty broad question,
It is.
I feel like it comes in themes too of what I want to share with people. So feel free.
So I was thinking about this question because I knew you were going to ask me, and one of the things that first came to mind was be supporting other creative women, other creative endeavors. Be consuming their content, and that's going to be something that fuels your own creativity. So whenever I feel low inspiration, I will go to someone else that I admire and just scroll through their page for a while, get inspired. So that's the first thing, that's gonna keep you where you need to be creatively.
Yeah, connect with more.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then go to the events too, physically go. I've met so many people by just showing up at that event. And sometimes I'll see the same people over and over again at the events, and I don't actually meet them until the fourth event.
Yeah.
And then there's a collab that could happen from that. So consume the content, go to the events, good product, make sure your product is really good, and you've market tested it. I think is really important. When I started it with stimulus money, we were I don't know if anyone's interested in this. Step by step, a little dip your toe in the water, and people were, thank goodness. But making sure you have a product that's really good. Let's see, what other advice might I have? Definitely, when you're consuming that content, like their page, or comment on what they did, or reply to their story. Especially, I have met so many people that way.
Yeah.
Just replying to their story, and they're oh cool, I like what you do, and then they know me. So I don't know, those are some little practical ways to just grow community. I feel and specifically on Instagram, a lot of that is centered around Instagram. I'm a good little millennial, and that's where I go.
I get that.
Yes. So
Yeah, I love that. I think just that connection, you can never get too much encouragement. And so being able to encourage other people, other entrepreneurs, and especially women in this space, I love how collaborative Indy is.
Yes.
And you just never know
And they
who's
just
around the
embrace
corner.
you right away. I've had people who would be come do a class in our space, Kim from Francis for example.
Yeah.
She just embraced me right away and was just yes, let's do the event. Yes, let's do the stuff. What you do is good. Before I'd even worked with her, before she'd even tried anything I'd made, before I'd done anything, she was you know, I'm in your corner on this. Advice about this, advice about this. Like the Flower Boys too, like they had me in when I was hiring my first instructors and like gave me advice about you know, how to hire and what you should think about and make sure you have this in place, and just people pouring into you and taking the time and the effort to do that when they're not getting anything in return. I think that that's pretty unique to Indy.
Yeah.
And something that's been just incredible.
Yeah, that's huge.
This 3-year process.
Yeah, well, I love that. Tell us how we can find you. Obviously, Instagram is where you live mostly.
Yeah, Instagram's where I live mostly, and then my webpage, mixoindy.com. That's also a great place to reach me. And then, yeah, you can send me an email from there or DM me. And I think those are like the 2 places.
Okay. Anything exciting coming up that we need to know about?
Yeah, a couple of things. First of all, Taylor Swift events happening in November. We have 4 of them. 2 of them are a pop-up where you can come and just get a cocktail, and then 2 of them are classes where you can come and make your own cocktails that are Taylor Swift themed. So that's a really big deal. We're going to be rolling out that coffee class, like I said. And then we have other like holiday events like Halloween, and we're going to do a holiday class that's going to be in this new event space in Indianapolis. It's really, really cool.
Awesome.
So I'm excited about that. So yeah, just all the events coming up. We have an events page.
Yay.
I will have to update it before this year.
Reminder to self.
I know, reminder to self, update your event page. But yeah, that's what we have going on.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being with us today and for always being such an encourager. We love you. We heart you.
I love you guys too.